is out of control.
So today was another time trial up Doi Suthep, and it was a lovely day for it. As you can see, the roads are nice and wet, like other great things in life. So we got Doi Suthep who's joining us today.
Yes, I was sitting on the motorbike and filming Paul for the whole climb. I got some cramps, but it was fun.
You got some cramps?
Yes, cramps on the wrist.
On the wrist?
Yes, like no kidding.
So did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fun to see you suffer and sweat and enjoying your ride.
Blood, sweat and tears. You can see my face looks pretty at the moment, still not going hard enough yet.
I noticed that for the whole climb you kept your composure. It was a bit disappointing. I wanted to see you suffer, but...
Yeah, but that's what it's about. You got to be a hard man. You got to keep that poker face, even if you feel like you're dying inside. And trust me, it did feel like that. It felt like I was dying inside, but I just kept the composure.
I could hear you breathe, especially after 10 minutes. Yeah.
You could hear me breathe?
Yes.
So even with that motorbike noise, you could hear me breathe?
Yes, because you were just behind me, like 1 meter behind me.
Yeah, but I mean, that motorbike's fucking loud.
Yeah, but my ears are very sharp.
Your ears are sharp, eh?
Yes.
My antennas.
Exactly.
My antenna.
So, before that you had some sugar, right?
Yeah, I had some sugar water, just 100 grams of the Thai powdered brown sugar in a cup, and then add 400 mils of water. It's a nice solution just to get started for the morning. Started with some high intensity training, and what's good about it is that it takes up minimal volume in your stomach, so your lungs are able to expand, and it just feels like you're riding on an empty stomach, but you've got some glucose that's pumping through your veins.
Yeah, real energy. And you had a warm-up before that time trial.
Oh yeah, the warm-up. For the warm-up I started with 5 minutes, is really easy. Zone 1, 150 watts. Then I picked it up to 250 watts for the next 5 minutes, and then to 300 watts for the following 5 minutes. And then just cruise back down the Doi and started the time trial. Met up with my boot Hayden.
Yep. So Hayden was pacing motorbike. He's still trying to master that specific...
Yeah, keeping it steady. As you can see, he's opened the gap quite a few times here, but it's a little bit difficult because his motorbike is quite old, so it's, the gear ratios aren't optimal for this climb to keep it really steady, because if you keep it on the throttle, it kind of changes the wattage. As you can see, if you look at the Strava file, the wattage wasn't that steady. It was a little bit all over the place, but I still managed to get a decent average wattage. So the average wattage for this climb was 347 watts. This morning I jumped on the scale, 69 kilos. So definitely not my best performance up Doi Suthep. That gives you a wattage per kilo of 5.01. And best wattage up here, or best ratio up here was 5.43. So that was 353 watts at 65 kilos.
You can do better than that.
Yeah, definitely. I want to get it up to 370 at 65. It's going to be the ultimate.
Yeah, just stop eating too many vegan burgers, okay?
Yeah, it's these fucking steamed buns from 7-Eleven. They're just making me hold on some extra weight.
Coffee.
Yeah, but coffee's another story. Coffee's not affecting my weight. Although coffee is affecting my emotional stability.
Yeah, but you did well, it seems. And on Strava you can see very well, every time you were closing the gap, your wattage was so high.
Oh yeah, it was spiking like to 450, 500, closing the gap.
And on the video you can see a lot of dogs on the street, on the road, on the wet road. It's quite early in the morning, it's like 7 something.
Yeah, it's the
no,
same
6
goes.
something.
As the acronym goes, TIT. You know what the TIT acronym represents?
It's a bird, a tit, a blue tit is a
No
bird.
man, TIT.
No.
This is Thailand.
Ah. So what happens when it's so early in the morning? The dogs are not fed yet, so they're waiting for some humans to give them food.
Humans.
Yes.
Humans. I love the way this Frenchie talks. She always talks in a strange manner, not like English people. Like for a door, for example, she'll say a portal.
It's not true. I said that once. And
No, you say it all the time.
It's not true.
Let us enter the portal so that we can access our domain. So if y'all have been following my Strava, you know my fitness has gone a little bit to shit. I haven't stuck to the training. And I've also been lacking discipline in the eating department. I haven't really been sticking to calorie restriction.
Oh, it's not easy, yeah?
Yeah, it's not easy. Like I said in the video yesterday, this is extreme shit. And I want extreme results, so that's why I do extreme shit.
Yeah, your target weight is quite low, so it's going to be hard to do that with normal food.
Yeah, it's possible. You just got to eat the carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Carbohydrates satisfy you the most. And when you eat the fatty foods, it's pretty easy to go over your calories for the day.
Yeah, and puff up.
Puff up. Yeah, you can see in this video, I'm looking a little bit puffy. I'm not looking as lean as I could be. You've seen me when I'm lean. This isn't fucking lean, eh?
It's close to lean, but not there.
This is a chunky Van Wheeler. It's a chunky man.
And if you're chunky, I don't know what I am. So anyway, what do you call lean food?
What is lean food?
Yes.
Well,
Is it lean chicken, lean rabbit, or what?
yeah, definitely. You got to include some lean meats so you can get your protein.
Ugh.
I include some lean meats because I do consider myself a vegan, but I do like to cheat occasionally. That's a flexitarian, but I'm still vegan, even though I have meat once in a while. Because you're still vegan, because most of your food is plant-based. Okay, jokes aside, lean foods, fruit, starch, and I actually recommend going for the refined grains because your stomach is able to digest them properly and you can take a proper shit. I find when I'm eating whole grains, well, at least for me, when I'm eating whole grains, then they come out whole on the other side too.
Same for me.
Whole grains, they stay whole. So if you want to eat some whole foods and you want to eat starches, then go for the potatoes and sweet potatoes and the corn. It's better than grains, in my opinion.
Rice, white rice is fine.
Yeah, white rice is good. I'm talking about whole grains, not refined grains. And the refined grains is like super cereal. It becomes a solid shit on the other side. You don't see the food there. You're like, was this rice before? No fucking way that was rice. It's just a solid brown dump. And it goes kloops in the toilet.
What an archaeologist you are. So if you're eating only rice, just have some fruit sometimes too, because it brings you some nutrients and some fiber.
Yeah.
It's good for shitting.
You don't need that much fruit, just a little bit. Get your nutrient gains for the day. And one pak choy leaf a day.
Keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, keeps the minerals here to stay. And here we've got an airplane, so we're just going to pause it quick. So as you could see with the video that I posted yesterday, the training is going to be quite intense for this. Not the hardest training I've ever done, but I'm just keeping it specific to what I want to do on Doi Suthep and on Doi Calm. So nothing too crazy, mostly endurance training and just a short intervals, 40-second intervals, going up Doi Calm and smashing this bad boy 2 times on the Saturday.
What do you think about people that do a lot of kilometers and hope for the fitness to rise?
Well, I just say that's ineffective training because you're not going to become good at anything other than riding long distance, really.
Alright, and is it even good for weight loss?
Yes and no. If you're eating a high carb, low fat vegan diet, you're going to get some weight loss gains. But if you're eating a high fat standard American diet, you're definitely not going to see much weight loss unless you've always been skinny and your hunger is naturally low, your appetite is naturally low, that you can control the amount of food that you eat. But if you're fat and you're just doing long distance training
and eating Nutella,
then you're going to look like, well, even Amanda Coco, who was doing 380 k's a day for a year, she couldn't even get lean and she was eating like a kilo of Nutella a day.
So you seem to be a very fast and competitive guy. Do you race, man?
Well, you should know the answer to that. You live with me.
Yes, but people don't
Just
know.
for the audience. Just
Yes,
ask
for the
me
audience,
for the audience.
yes.
Well, fuck, the last time that I did a race was Mekong Bike Tour. That was quite a while back. But these days, yeah, I'm not really that keen on racing. I just enjoy going for the Strava segments. That's all I really need to keep me motivated. It's exciting. I consider myself to be a social media cyclist. I did the racing for 10 years and I've actually had enough of that. I don't really enjoy that so much anymore. I just enjoy going for the Strava segments, and you know, it keeps you in one piece. You don't have to worry about breaking an elbow or collarbone or femur. So
yeah, your girlfriend worries less for you when you're out there.
plus I don't have health insurance, so if I break something, I'm fucked.
Maybe you can have something for Patreon.
I can start a Patreon and just do some e-begging. That'll help.
Fund me.
But I don't think I've got enough subscribers to get some e-begging gains.
Yeah, who knows?
No, but in all seriousness, I would never do that. I've got too much pride to beg other people for money. And I've also removed the donations page from my website because I realized that was a bad idea.
Okay, if you don't feel comfortable with it, don't do it.
Yeah.
So in 1 year you have done like 3 or 4 races in total.
Yeah, this year
Not
was
much.
Yeah, wasn't much racing.
No. All of that in Thailand, by the way.
Yeah, just in Chiang Mai, and the other one was there on the other side, about 800 k's away, more to the north. Yeah,
So yeah,
northeast.
Strava segments are safer, are more fun. Well, people
Well,
can
it's not
start.
always more fun. I mean, people are new to cycling, they love the racing. But for me, I've done this shit for so long that I know what it's all about, and I don't really get that excited when I'm racing. Unless it's like a hill climb time trial, that's fun. I dig that.
Yeah, uphill, because racing downhill is so sketchy.
Oh yeah, that's one major thing for me is descending in the rain. You see here on Doi Suthep, it's fucking wet. I mean, I'm a joke when I go down this climb in the rain. I'm so fucking slow. Anyone can pass me. Even these fat Thai people on the scooters, they pass me. No, I'm just joking about that. I'm just exaggerating. But I'm really slow on the downhill because I've just crashed too many times in the wet, so my confidence has gone to shit. But not only that, I also have a sense of self-preservation.
Yeah, you crashed just in front of me last year. It was so real.
Oh yeah, if you guys probably don't remember the video from quite some time back. It was like a year ago. I posted that video. I nearly died. I crashed going down Doi Suthep. I think there was a little bit of an oil slick in the road because I hardly touched the front brake and the front wheel just washed out completely. And I was sliding down this mountain at 50 k's an hour and it felt like I wasn't going to stop. And then there was a minibus coming from the other side and I nearly slid into the minibus. Luckily the guy saw me and he stopped and he pulled to the one side. But I was sliding on this road for 100 meters. You saw it for yourself.
Yep. And you were quite lucky because you slipped on a straight line.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. So
it wasn't even around the corner.
Yeah. I was really scared. I heard some plastic scratching on the road, and suddenly, I see a van-wheeler sleeping next to me. Like, what the fuck is happening? So I was the one that was racing downhill because I had my new bike at that time. But since that incident, I stopped racing and speeding downhill. I'm so slow now.
You become so slow.
I'm
like
very
anyone
slow.
can pass you.
Yes.
Even noobs. Even the noobs pass you.
Yes.
Remember at Asian bike tour, everyone was passing you, and then you would just catch them on the climb again. You would catch like the second woman, because you took first place in Asian bike tour. You catch the second woman, but she would like put probably half an hour into you on the downhill, and you bring the half an hour back on the climb.
Very funny, but that's true. I'm strong on the uphill, but yeah, downhill I don't want to take any risk. And when I was doing a race in France, it was the same. No risk.
So we've actually been talking a lot of shit about other stuff, but
Okay,
we
let's
haven't
talk
been
about-
talking about what's actually happening here on the road. So as you can see there with a hand gesture, I pick up my hand for the pace to be picked up, and then I bring the hand down for the pace to be slowed down. And you can see the cadence is pretty good. The average cadence for this ride was 90 RPM, so that was pretty decent.
90 is
And you
perfect.
you can see I'm just looking back, having a good old spit there.
You
you know I'm going hard when I'm spitting.
You had many spits.
Yeah, that's when I spit a lot. When the spit frequency is more than 1 glob per minute, then you know I'm going hard.
By the way, the wheel you have here, the front wheel, it's mine.
Yeah, it is actually your front wheel. I took my front wheel to velocity because I broke a spoke, and I've been waiting for it for just over a week.
But they forgot to send you an email.
Yeah,
It was ready.
Yeah, it was ready. So that was pretty cool. I'm glad I got it back today. I actually feel so grateful because I've been using your front wheel all the time. and your front wheel is like 1 kilo heavier than mine. So that's going to be another 30 seconds up the Doi.
Yeah.
That's just a joke, by the way. I'm sure you guys can tell when I'm making a joke, when I'm not serious.
My wheel is so heavy, that's why I'm so slow. So anyway, we had only one wheel for 2 bikes, so I had to go on his handlebar to go to the restaurant. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Like you saw the other day in taking your girl out on a date.
Yeah, watch this video.
We were doing that. Yeah, it's a good video. I think it was like 3 videos ago, eh?
Yeah,
something like
that.
It's a great video.
And your cycling jersey and shorts. Tell us about it.
Well, there's not much to say. I'm pretty sure most people in this community knows where it comes from, but it was good old Daddy Durian Rider who published this kit. Okay, so basically there's going to be another video like this 1 month down the track, and this was me out of shape. I wasn't in good shape for this one. This is me not on form, so the next one is going to be me on form.
Top form.
Top form. So that's it for today. Commentary's done. Now just enjoy the pumping tunes till the end of the video. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.